Whoa, attention, whoa. We're gonna start the guide now. And then the people on the YouTube are gonna complain that I put the spoilers in the guide. Alright, so this is a new trial. Barb X. This extreme is really fun. So far, the endwalker extremes have all been really good. I think this is the hardest one they've released so far, this expansion. But it's fun. I think you should put down the markers like this. The reason why you want to set this shit up like this, there's going to be like mechanics later on that require you to separate the party and shit. You know, you have to go to like different quadrants and shit. At least that's the way we did it, okay? Now keep in mind, this is a super early guide. Now we cleared this pretty quick. A lot of the strategies we used were actually like kind of just made sense to do it that way. There's no downtime really. Sometimes the boss will jump away for half a second, but you can't really prevent that. So yeah, we're just going to go through the fight, man. So you just, you know, you just pull just like normal, just like every fucking raid boss. She's going to start with an AoE, which is Void Arrow for whatever. It's just raid wide AoE. Okay, so this is in normal mode, okay? All right, so this is in normal mode. There's going to be like an arrow that goes to one of these markers. And then she's going to have two different animations. She holds her sword up in the air, or she holds her sword to the side. Okay, so you can see her sword right here. See how it's up in the air? The other animation she'll do, she'll have her sword like down here. But since it's up in the air, what's going to happen is there's going to be a line AoE. So basically, there's going to be a line AoE like this. And then this like arrow thing right here. See this arrow thing? Well, it's pointing to A. So that means that there's going to be a massive explosion right here at A. So the safe zone is literally just right here. It's south of her and away from that. Now, she could do this at any marker, but it's always an explosion. So you need a satellite view for this one. Probably. Maybe. Okay. And now she's going to do this shit. Okay, now she has two different hair raids. So if you notice, she's like floating in the air. So the other animation she can do is she can like get down on all fours and she looks like she's pouncing. This one, because she's in the air, the safe zone is inside. And all of this shit out here is dangerous. Yeah, shut up. So basically when she's floating in the air like this, you go like underneath her. And this is either gonna be 2 stacks or a bunch of spreads. So if it's 2 stacks like this, you have like a left group and a right group. You can just do normal priority shit. You know, group 1 can just be a tank healer and 2 DPS. Group 2 can be a tank healer, 2 DPS. You know, you can establish a groups at the beginning of the fight. It's really not that hard. The other iteration of this is it could be a spread. So everybody will get an anti-stack. So basically you go into your Protean positions. So your Protean positions, you'll have a tank here, DPS, healer, DPS, tank, DPS, healer, DPS. And these Protean positions will also determine your group too. So like you can have like group 2 be these guys and group 1 be these guys. Or the other way, it doesn't matter. But anyway, so in this iteration, she's floating. So that means it's a dynamo and 2 stacks. Pretty simple shit. Dynamo, 2 stacks. All right. Okay, now this is the other iteration. Now you see how she has her sword like this? That means it's going to be another dynamo. Okay, so that means that the safe zone is in here. Everything out here is dead. This half is going to be fucked. So the safe zone is directly in front of her right there. So dynamo, then she throws her sword. And now this is going to be this last hair raid. Basically, there's 4 different combinations, and she will always do all 4 of them, but it's a random order of how she does them. This hair raid is going to be go to the wall and spread out. Because if you look, she's like kind of like down on all 4s, you know? See how she's like down? Okay, well, what she's going to do is she's going to teleport to the wall. She's going to teleport here. There's going to be like a V. All of this is going to be a death zone. So basically, she's going to cleave this area, and you need to fit the group on these sides. Now, how do you fit the group on these sides? I mean, there's a ton of different ways you can do it. You can also pre-position like Bach did here, and Flux and Chet. They're all pre-positioning, and you just fill in the gaps, you know? Typically, the tank will go like right here. The other tank will go like right here. The melee can also stay here. Melee and tanks can actually stack up for a second, because what you can do is after the AoE goes off, one tank can move up here, the other tank can move right here, and the melee DPS can stand back here. That's the keep up time. So like you see how me and Gwen are kind of stacked here? Gwen knows I'm going to move. So then we move out. You can also do what they did too. Like you can have a melee go max melee here and a tank go underneath the boss, but you can do it this way, or you can just have it to where both tanks go up. Doesn't matter. And after that, just another raid wide. So just to recap, if the sword is up, it's a line AoE. If the sword is to her side, it's a dynamo you want to get in. If she's floating, it's a dynamo you want to get in. And then if she's on all fours, it's like a line, like a V cleave, and you want to get to the wall. This is just a tank buster. Just get the fuck out of the way. Just a standard tank buster. It puts this wind debuff on you right here. This wind debuff, dude, this fucking hurts. If she hits you with this wind debuff, you're fucking dead. You can probably barely heal through it, but for an extreme primal, this is really, really punishing. So basically just a standard tank swap. Into a raid AoE. All right, teasing tangles. Okay. So... This is just random where you get pulled into, or at least I'm pretty sure it's random. This mechanic was pretty easy to solve. Where you get pulled to doesn't really matter, and who you're paired with doesn't really matter. The only thing that matters is who gets the big AoE and who gets the enumeration. So this is 2, so you need 2 people in this stack. What we did was we always put the enumeration people on the even numbers. In every single pair group, there's a person with a stack and a person with enumeration. So we just always had the enumeration people go to even. In 2 groups, there's going to be a person with nothing. So like, see how Grand has nothing? What that person does, they just pair up with the enumeration. Now there is room to get full uptime. You can have the tank here. This is a caster DPS down here. Now in the case that this is a melee DPS or something, you can always have the tank run back. I don't really remember us having that problem actually. I mean, I'm sure it can happen. Like I said, I mean, we cleared this pretty fast, so we didn't see every single iteration. But if you want to play safe, you can just have the big AoE people. They just move all the way back. It's fine. But if you notice that the big AoE person is arranged like right there, and there's a tank right here, then you can do like the full uptime because there is room right here for a stack, and there's room right there for a stack. But basically, TLDR, we just had the big AoE people go to the odd numbers, and the enumeration people go to the even numbers. Okay, right after this, there's a Protean. So you need to spread out. This hair thing, it like slows you down. That's why I don't fuck with hair. Hair just slows you down, man. I ain't messing with that shit. I gotta go, 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 go. You know what I mean? The only people that need to really worry about the Protean are the 4 players in the enumeration stacks, because the Protean is pretty thin. You need to get on the edge here. So 1 person right there, 1 person right there. And then after this resolves, this guy just move up a little bit, and this guy just move up a little bit, and you'll be fine. So now there's Protean. Boom. Okay, that's how you do that mechanic. Really easy. Okay, it's really easy. This another raid AoE. Another raid AoE. Okay, curling iron. Okay. All right, she always faces south for this. So when she does curling iron, she basically is just going to power up. This is basically just her going Super Saiyan, okay? So this is where you want to get into your Protean positions here. So you have a tank here, you have a DPS here, you can have a DPS here, healer here, DPS here, probably range, I don't know, DPS here, probably range, kind of doesn't matter, and then another tank there. What we did was the main tank was always north, the off tank was always south, to just make sure that the boss always faced north, because like, the golden rule of progression is if the boss does not face north, they enrage. Okay, now this is a big ass fucking, this is where they like cut out this cutscene, which thank fucking God. But this is where she jumps into the air and then she pumps up and all that shit. And then she comes down and smashes. So you want to like mitigate this air. I just use shake. What else do we have? Yeah, we just had like basic shit here. Nothing too crazy. Okay, but anyway, so when she comes down, she's going to tether to all the tanks and healers. Okay, and what she's going to do is she's going to kick that person, and then there's going to be a shadow that sends out a line AoE. Right as she kicks you, like as she's coming to kick you, you need to move to the left or to the right immediately, because it happens pretty quick. You'll see what happens when I get kicked. If you're in your Protean positions, the kicks are always going to be north, south, east, west, and the DPS won't really have to move much. But this is why it kind of doesn't matter if the melee are north or the melee are south, because she's fucking going all over the place. So like fucking rip positionals. Yo, they need to get rid of positionals. Positionals are so fucking outdated, man. They need to fucking get... Oh boy, here we go. Here we go. He's ranting! You basically just get where you need to be. Alternatively, you can stack these up too. We stacked them up the second time, but not the first time, because the second time they're on DPS. Also, the second time there's more like AoEs and shit, and I'll get to that. You know, I'll get to that in a second. Okay, so this thing right here, I want to say, is a big fucking debate. This AoE in the middle takes for fucking ever to go off. You can essentially ignore this, so don't even pay attention to this. This right here is a tank stack. For whatever fucking reason, this tank stack doesn't hit very hard. You can solo it by popping all of your cooldowns, or you can solo it just by using your invuln. Like, basically, if you actually have the tank stack with this, it's kind of unnecessary and you don't really need it. I don't even know why this is a tank stack, to be honest. I don't know. But as you can see, you know, I just pop all my cooldowns, you know? I mean, I live. I didn't even have Blood Wedding, actually. Hold on. What all did I have? So I had Rampart and Vengeance. Yeah, I had Rampart and Vengeance. That's it. I know it looks like I barely lived, but there's no damage. There's no other damage. After this is a really important part. You need to have everybody go in the center, okay? You need to have everybody go into the center immediately. And the reason why is because of all this rock shit here, okay? Every player, or I'm pretty sure every player, is going to get one of these rocks. And all it means is that there's going to be a massive AoE underneath that player. You just stack up. This is why I call this a debate, because there's going to be a lot of AoEs, but you need to wait until you see the AoE go underneath you. And it's going to be about that big. And when it goes underneath you, you run to your Protean spot. There's going to be a tank here, which is me. There's going to be a DPS here, a DPS here, a healer over here, a DPS down here, a DPS down here, but you can't see, and then a tank is also going down here. So this is what we did. We just stacked up. You wait. Okay, now you see this? Now you see how it's a debate? This is meant to scare you. It's meant to spook you. Okay? Ooh, see that? This is the spook. This is to make you run out. You can't do that. You gotta wait. Now remember when I said that this thing in the middle doesn't matter? It didn't matter the first time, and it doesn't matter now. You just go to your Protean. And then after your Protean, you're going to get 4 stacks. You just move clockwise. That's it. So wait. Run out. You can do some uptime stuff if you want here. Like I said, I threw a Tomahawk because I'm a content respecting bitch. You can do some really neat stuff with Primal Rin. You can run out and then Primal Rin back in and then move back out so you won't miss any GCDs, you know? But that's Warrior, okay? That's some man mode shit. They don't teach you that in the Warrior school. That's just something you learn out in the field. So anyway, so you run out. Then there's going to be this AoE here. Now, I know what you're saying. Why the fuck did you gap close into the AoE? Well, this AoE takes for fucking ever to go off, as you can see. I had enough time to gap close. I had enough time to gap close, do a GCD, and a fucking upheaval before the AoE even went off. Then there's going to be an AoE on the outside, so you move out, then in, while you're with your partner. And you can do these on the intercardinals. You know, you can also meet back up at 4. These enumeration stacks take forever to go off. See how long they take? So that's how you do that mechanic. Just to reiterate, Tank Buster. You know, I'm going to say for Party Finder, just fucking invuln it. It's fine, just invuln it for Party Finder. You can also CD it, both work. But if you CD it, use all your CDs. Also, whatever tank doesn't get it, so it can go on a random tank. Whatever tank doesn't get it, help the other tank. So then you just stand in the middle, bait all this rock shit. Wait, don't go. Now go. Protean. Respect content with Tomahawk. Okay? Don't onslaught back in like I did. Don't be greedy. That's greed lord shit. Okay? And then you take your enumeration stacks. You go clockwise 1. Now, this time these kicks are going to go on the DPS. You know, you can stack these up if you want. We didn't feel it was necessary to because there's only 4 and there's nothing really else going on. Just try to make sure that you're in these, that you're close to these markers so that way the boss doesn't like kick all the way across the room, then kick all the way across the room. You know what I mean? And then she's just gonna hit the ground, baby rage, you know. This is just raid damage. It's just a bunch of raid damage, you know, it's whatever. Okay, so here's where we stack up now, because this is where the shit gets a little crazy. There's a massive fuck ton of like AoEs and shit. So we stack north because it's behind the boss, but you can stack south. It doesn't matter, but we just stack north because it was behind the boss. So these kicks, they're going out again, you know. You can have casters go farther back so that way there's not as many AoEs as to dodge, you know. But you just stack all this shit up, man. You just go clockwise. That's it. Now, this part will always be with the 2 tanks. There's going to be 2 tanks with these big boom booms. And then there's going to be a stack marker. So, like, as you can see, tank here has it, tank here has it, and then there's a big stack up here. So, if you do what we did and you start north and then you go clockwise like this, you'll always end up south. So, 1 tank can go here, 1 tank can go here, and the stack can always be north. You can do it that way. This is kind of a debate because she's going to do a knockback. So, you actually want to get close. You want to get close, and then you get knocked back. And then she'll jump on the stack. So, just real quick to reiterate, start north. Mario Kart around, you know. Then there's going to be a party stack north. The tanks are south, you know. Tanks can, you know. You can, like, this does, like, pretty decent tank damage, but you can mitigate it or not mitigate it. It kind of doesn't matter. It kind of doesn't matter. But yeah. Okay, now this is just where just shit goes fucking crazy. This is just... So, she's going to kick 4 more times, and then it's going to be the hair thing again. Okay, so for this shit, man... This phase is basically just dodge forehead. There's no strat to this, okay? It's just dodge. This is a hairy situation. This looks like a very hairy situation. Yes, you just dodge forehead, okay? And I mean, you'll see what I'm talking about, you know? Like, you just dodge these, you dodge the tornadoes, you dodge the AoEs, they just randomly appear. It's just a shit show. Know what I mean? Then there's this big AoE. Okay, now there's 2 stacks. You handle this the same way. We just put the stacks left and right here. Now, you can set up a priority system where you always have tanks go left, you know, or you always have this person. But honestly, man, I feel like that just overcomplicates this mechanic. Just whoever the fuck you're paired with, one of you dodge on this side, one of you dodge on that side, and you'll be fine. And then you have to go in, so this outside circle kind of doesn't matter because you need to be here anyway. So the mechanic kind of resolves itself. So then you stack, then you move. Okay, I have no idea how that person died, but whatever. Okay. And then there's just going to be a bunch of raid damage again. Now, this raid damage actually can hurt, depending on how many people have stacks of courage. Now, I know this stack of courage, you know, you should be proud of this, but you do take additional damage. So you want to mitigate this shit. You know, you could see like people are almost dying, you know what I mean? So, okay. Oh, this is a really good pull. Okay. So yeah, you want to mitigate that shit. Okay. And then this just goes back to phase 1, okay? This just goes back to phase 1. All right. So this is almost identical. There's oh my god. Okay, so this mechanic's really easy. It's going to be PlayStation with these things. With these, like, circle things. You cannot leave this circle, which anytime there's a circle, which I guess I should have said this earlier, shit like this is just obvious, right? Like, you know how you have this big circle down here and you have the thing in the middle and you were tethered to it? Okay. This is the same shit. There's a circle here and you're tethered to your partner. If I leave this circle, then it pulls me back in and like fucks me up. So basically what we did for this, we found it better if you just have the DPS plant. The DPS are on inner cardinal. So you have a DPS here, a DPS here, a DPS here, and a DPS here. It doesn't matter what shape you get. All that matters is the tanker healer that is paired with that DPS just goes with them. This is Lemon's spot, okay? His spot in his Protean is southwest. See, he's already there, okay? And I don't know I'm going to get paired with him, okay? The DPS should always stay. So like Balana, he's already here. Lemon's already here. Flux just got raised, but Grand's up here, so he just stayed there. But basically, you want to have the DPS plant, you know? So the X's were down here because Gwen ended up having an X. And then you could do this like different ways. I just went this way and the DPS went this way. But basically you just stay in your circle. The circles can overlap. You can be in someone else's circle. These circles only affect the 2 people afflicted. That's it. So you can overlap the circles. And this is really easy. This mechanic just completes itself. So there's going to be AoEs that you need to dodge. So one player just go max melee here. The other player go max melee here. And you're not only going to dodge this cone, but there's a Protean after the cone. You don't even have to move because you're already in Protean positions anyway. So that's what we did. We did DPS plant. You can do color-coded, but if you do color-coded, then that means that it's basically more moving parts. And in Party Finder, you don't want more moving parts. You want as little moving parts as possible. So because the DPS are already intercardinal, you just have them stay there, and that's it. Okay, now it's Protean. Okay. Okay, and then this is just a repeat. This is sword up. What does that mean? Middle cleave. That's right. Now, see, Flux got hit here. And I know what you're saying. How did he get hit? Even with Brink of Death, he wanted to show the boss. He didn't give a fuck. It doesn't matter. Okay. This is Hair Raid. She's floating in the air. Where's the safe spot? It's a donut. That's right. This is the same shit from the first phase. This third phase basically is just a repeat of the first phase with two different slightly like variations. This is just another tank swap, just whatever, same shit, fucking swap it, you know, whatever. Okay, now, this again, this is PlayStation 2. This is the exact same shit. We handle this strategy, or we handle this mechanic the exact same way. Okay, now you see Balan is already pre-positioned because this is his Protean. Now Flux's Protean is right here. He's behind the boss, but he will move up. He will move up. You have the DPS plant on the intercardinal. Okay, Lemon's already here, just like last time. Gwen's already here, just like last time. They plant, and the tank and healer will go to them. And if they're not, if they're too far away, I'm pretty sure the mechanic pulls you in. You don't have to be next to the person because I'm pretty sure the mechanic pulls you in and it forces you to do it this way. That's why I said that the way that we did this was just, it just seemed like it made sense. So this is the same shit. You get paired up. Now, there's going to be enumeration stacks. Okay? Okay? How we handled this is we just had people rotate clockwise. Now, you see how these stack? Now, you see how these green circles are all stacked up? That doesn't matter. All right? You can stack these green circles and it's fine. And then that's it. That's the mechanic. It looks pretty spooky, but basically just TLDR or whatever. You have the DPS plan here. DPS here, DPS here, DPS here, DPS here. The mechanic goes out, it pulls you to your partner if you're not there. There's going to be two groups that get the enumeration. And I think in this iteration, it was this group and this group. We'll see. We just rotate clockwise. Yeah, so basically, these two people would get these two people. These two people would get these two people. I start to move over here, but in a static setting, you're going to be able to adjust different spots. You could get an iteration where, like, these two people get it and these two people get it, and in that case, you just have this group take care of that group, and this group take care of that group. Mechanic's pretty easy. It's not too bad. And then that's it. So, this is a repeat. This is a donut. She's got the sword to her side, so it's a donut. You stay in. Hair raid. She's pouncing. Run to the edge. Move out. And that's it. Will this be on the test? Yeah, you can stack them. It's a debate. Okay, curling iron again. Dude, even these moves, dude. This is just another. This is just another phase change. She's just gonna phase into this fourth phase, this final phase or whatever. The same shit happens. Targets of tanks and healers. Hits the ground. This is the baby raid shit. You just stack up and you rotate clockwise. Now, this one is a little different, okay? Because this is another debate. You stack up north and you rotate and you wait 4 AoEs, I'm pretty sure. Let's count them. You handle those rocks the exact same way as you handle the first one. So 1, 2, 3. The rocks come out. Wait. Don't get debated. Don't get debated. 4. Now everybody runs to the middle. Everybody runs to the middle after the 4th AoE. You got time. You do the same shit. Handle it the same way. Handle it the same way. Okay, now these people died because they wanted to show you what not to do in the guide. They wanted to show you to not stack up. Thank you for your sacrifice, for your guide footage. Handle it the same fucking way. You just run out to your protean position. And then while you do that, she's going to be kicking and shit. You know, she just kicks around. It just repeats, man. Like, honestly, it just repeats. You move out, go back in. There's going to be a knockback in the spread. You know, like all of these mechanics, they like pretty much solve themselves. Excuse me. And then she's going to just start kicking again. And, you know, just there's going to be an AoE and all this fucking shit, dude. This is just dodge forehead. Like some of these mechanics are just literally just dodge forehead. You know, that's all it is. So, you know, you just got to dodge. Oh my God, dude, that was so sick, dude. Holy fuck, man. And then there's another tank buster here. You can bowline that shit. You know, this is pretty much just a repeat of phase 2. Just dodge a bunch of shit. You know, I decided I don't give a fuck anymore. I just man mode that shit. Look at that shit, dude. Man mode. See that shit? I just went in the middle because I'm a warrior main. So obviously we killed it. We killed it here. Now, our kill time isn't fast because we had some deaths. I wanted to use this particular footage because we had some deaths and you see more mechanics and stuff. After this mechanic, I can't fucking remember what happens. It's probably just a repeat. We saw in Rage once. I'm pretty sure it's just a repeat. Just do whatever I said before, do it again. But on this time, it's a little different. This is pretty much just like a stack or whatever, but without the knockback. So... And you have plenty of time. Like, Chet could have ran up there if he really wanted to. Like, I mean, look how much time you have before all this shit goes off, man. You just handle this the same way, man. You just put the stack up here. You have the 2 tanks down here. I mean, you do it the same way, except for there's no knockback. That's the only difference. And then the fight's over. Yay! We did it! Yay! Guide over. That's it. 2 totems drop. Thank fucking God. Relatively simple primal. Had interesting mechanics. It's a fun fight. I liked it a lot.